Let's talk about how HBAR and DAG are emerging as the foundation for a transformative security layer that everyone's going to be using. The work that these two are doing is really setting the stage for how we secure complex, interconnected systems. Remember back when Colonial Pipeline got hacked and gas stations ran dry, or when hospitals got locked out of their systems by ransomware? Those kind of incidents are a big reminder that traditional security measures for centralized databases aren't really sufficient anymore. These kind of attacks become practically impossible with hashgraph and metagraphs powered by HBAR and DAG. If you need a system to do things like managing a power grid or coordinating emergency responses, it gets pretty complex. And for decades, it was considered to really be an impossible problem to solve. HBAR and DAG offer a solution by creating a decentralized and tamper-proof system that can withstand those kinds of attacks without really any issues. Imagine a system of computers that can't be manipulated, taken offline, or tricked into failure. Even if parts of it are under attack, it performs exactly how it's intended to and ensures continuity when system failure really isn't an option. That's not some distant vision. Networks that are built on Hedera and Constellation are already in play, and they're working along players like the Department of Defense and major aviation systems. That's why these projects are solving real-world problems where security isn't optional. And here's the thing. Dr. Baird, the guy behind Hashgraph, wasn't really out to launch a tech startup or looking for headlines. He was just working as a mathematician, staring at a problem that everyone said couldn't be solved. And then he solved it. The internet made it possible for computers to share information. Hashgraph and metagraph technology take that a step further. They make it so machines don't just communicate, but actually are able to trust what data they're exchanging. And considering how cyber threats are basically a daily occurrence at this point, technology like this isn't just useful, it's going to end up baked into everything before we even realize it. Think about it. Right now, most online systems rely on middlemen to verify transactions, identities, and data integrity. Whether it's banks, cloud services, or cybersecurity firms, trust is outsourced. Hashgraph and metagraph are making trust a built-in feature of the network itself, not something that's dependent on a third party. That means that financial transactions get more secure, identity verification becomes bulletproof, and even things like supply chains and smart contracts work without constant oversight. And with things like deepfakes, hacks, and data breaches happening more than ever, it's inevitable that we adopt this kind of system. This technology is being used in systems where security is non-negotiable. Banks, defense systems, critical infrastructure, the kind of organizations that don't get a second chance when something goes wrong. And yet, a lot of people still think the biggest breakthroughs are behind us. Soon, this security layer isn't going to be optional. It's going to be the standard. It'll just start working in the background and become part of the systems that we rely on until one day they're everywhere and nobody really remembers a time before them. And I think that's a great reason to be super bullish on DAG and HBAR.